that article is so important to me. And I have seen a lot of dolls. Back when we were up there, Baby No Arms and stuff like that, where especially if there's little kids, they might use that as a communication device. That's what I ask for a lot of times, is if there's any kids or anything like that, I'll ask them if they want to play hide and seek, if they want to turn the flashlight off and on, if they want to move the ball, something like that. So.
Oh, Don, you had mentioned that you believe that everybody has some kind of psychic ability.
Yes.
Is there any kind of method that you use to heighten your senses?
On mine, a lot of people find out when they're kids. And I'm talking like 9, 10, 12 years old. That's when I found out. And back then, it wasn't real popular. So I thought it was really cool that I could get these responses and I could have things happen, by asking. But I soon found out that made you a little, don't hang around with that guy, okay? I took friends to this grandparents' house and, show me. And I go, okay. And then the stuff would start swinging and music playing and they were out of there. So it's just one of those things. But
what stage will you, what's your next project on?
Oh, actually, the publishing house already secured a second book, which I was starting to work on before Peter's, and it's kind of changed direction. It's about the death and the passing tragically and untimely of my adopted father. And before he adopted me, he guarded Pope Pius XII in the late 60s in Rome, and he was a Palatine guard, which meant he was more of like Secret Service. But shortly after he came over to America, I adopted mom, and he adopted me, and he started to develop paranoid schizophrenia and a lot of religious and mafia ties and things. I'm going through all his writings and things and having a lot of them translated. They were in Italian too, and a lot of what he was plagued by delusion. He died under county care and tragically and again untimely. So the book is an exploration of Peter's theories. The book Peter did is Heaven, Can You Hear Me? This one's titled Heaven, Are You There? And it's already been approved, and again, still work in process. It's painful to go over all the old letters and various things that we found in the home, and as well just to go through the writings, coroner reports, and various things. But it's an exploration of somebody so devoutly religious and Catholic to die in such a manner. So, but yeah, that's going to be Heaven, Are You There? And probably another year and a half off. So.
on that last question, I'm going to do like the governor's debate right now, Whitman and Brown. So back and forth. That last question really didn't answer your question about everybody, having psychic abilities. I think that everybody does, but like I say, usually when they're young is when they first find out about it, and that's when they make that decision. I did for about 40 years. I held it back. They make that decision. No, this isn't real. I can't pay any attention to this anymore. So therefore, it doesn't develop. If you just stay open to it, and just ask. Don't be afraid, and that way there, you can develop. There's lots of things that people use for use meditation and things, but pretty much if you just stay open to everything and open to everybody, it'll progress. I got a question for John. What's your most reputable ghost experience?
Gosh, there's been a few of them. Co-authoring Peter's book, and by default of him being a legend in the field, I get invited on paranormal investigations, get to meet you aboard the Queen Mary at events, and I've had you at our home and had experiences, and I didn't think I'd be doing this 3 years ago, my family and being immersed within the field. But Linda Vista Hospital, the Queen Mary, and overnight on Alcatraz, there have been like experiences pretty much at each one of these places. And the Queen Mary is just too close to our backyard, so we live 4 miles from the ship, and my family goes there quite a bit. If Peter felt that the ship was okay for our daughter to be at and go on his final tour, and I asked special permission for that, he let her call out to Jackie and took us to various parts of the ship, that was a place that was okay for us. So she didn't go with us to Alcatraz, or she's not going with us to Linda Vista or anything like that. But yeah, again, I was given Peter James 2 of his favorite leather investigative jackets for my birthday back in January from his best friend of 35 years. And we, first week, went with Mike Luke and some others to ON members of LAPA, Grant and Layla, and we had more than a 10-minute session that had to be Peter. All the sensors, we all had our own individual sensors, ghost radar, saying very specific things. When Mike Luke said, Peter, is that you? It said himself, and confirmed everything. There were some placement items, like someone had a pink stone with them. That was Victoria K. And it said stone, and just a lot of other things that were just, you know, more than coincidental. Tap replies and other things that just, you felt like Peter was there. So those have been some great trigger objects for some other times. And I'd like to see you work with them as well and see what you can generate.
What with
Peter's jacket.
Oh yeah, well that's one of those situations where his jackets would be like a doorway, a medium source, something that he wore a lot, and if he wanted to communicate with you, then that's a personal item that he could go through to get to you. Okay, any more?